everywhere in our society. The Chinese government is now deeply enmeshed in higher education in this country. It's not an overstatement. A number of university professors, including one today, have been arrested for spying on behalf of Beijing. Literally spies on campus, tenured spies. China has profound influence in Hollywood, you know that, in professional sports, we saw that last year, and in corporate America, up and down the chain. The Chinese own huge amounts of real estate throughout this country, one of the reasons your kids can't afford to live in our cities. All of this has changed our lives in profound ways, but all of it happened with very little public notice. Why? Because the people making it possible didn't want to advertise it. They were getting very rich from it. Every ambitious climber in corporate America knows the rules now. Don't offend Beijing, and you could be rewarded. The head of Disney's streaming service just left to become CEO of TikTok. That's a Chinese company. That may appall you, but in corporate America, many are envious. They wish they were him. Washington hasn't been immune to this either. China's influence is everywhere in the capital city. Former Senator Joe Lieberman lobbies for China now. Hard to believe, isn't it? Samir Jain was a top cybersecurity official for the Obama administration. Now he lobbyists for Huawei. And those are just a couple of the very few who followed the law and actually registered under FARA as foreign lobbyists. Hunter Biden never bothered to do that. Biden worked hard to sell his access to politicians in Washington, presumably his father, the vice president, chief among them, to investors who were getting rich in China. It was never a secret. Many people in Washington knew exactly what Hunter Biden was doing, and they didn't say anything to anybody. Why? Because it didn't seem weird to them. It wasn't strange. So many other well-connected people were doing the same thing, selling access to elected officials in Washington to the Chinese. Nancy Pelosi still doesn't understand why any of this is a big deal. Pelosi has spent decades bowing to the Chinese government, even as she attacks this country as racist and backward as she does virtually every day of the week. Just the other day, Pelosi announced that no conversation about China is legitimate. It's all a distraction.
Let me just say that what the president is saying about China is interesting. It's an interesting diversion. Let's keep our focus on meeting the needs of the American people, opening our economy.
Yeah, it's a diversion. How many antibiotics do we make in this country in the middle of a pandemic? Let's see, 0, none. All in China, just a diversion. When you watch something like Pelosi's statement, a terrifying thought creeps up from the back of your mind. Is China now too strong to criticize? Is our only option to submit? Maybe. We'll find out.